Good morning and welcome to Kramer's Corner. This is the daily technical update. It is Wednesday the 13th of September. I apologize, I've been away for a couple of days on a quick trip abroad. But I can see not much has been going on in the equity markets. S&P 500 still key resistance at 45.40. That should be observed. We are to the weaker side, and as previously mentioned, RSI still in a bearish trend or in a negative sentiment because it's failed to break above 60. It has been rejected here at the rising trend line, so it seems a little bit heavy, and we can also see the MACD lines here. They are starting to turn around, so it looks fairly negative for the S&P 500. Nasdaq 100, more or less the same picture. 15,561. The resistance failed to close over despite testing 3 times. Same picture here on the RSI, still in a bearish trend, never closed above. So that's quite negative for Nasdaq also. DAX in Europe here, in this range between 15,482, which is the key support, and the resistance at 16,060. That needs to break out of these two of this range for directions, but so we can expect a lot of sideways trading around these 15,700, 800 level here for the foreseeable future. The AX Amsterdam, we have it's a downtrend after being rejected here at the 750, couldn't close above, and it seems like it will test the 730 support pretty soon. It's still very heavy, and I think it will test it in a matter of days. RSI below 40, so also quite heavy there. The MACD line is about to break below the signal line, also quite bearish. So AEX looks quite heavy, and it could drop to 720, 715, around that level there. Belgian markets, 36.96, still that resistance level, not really much going on. Looks to the heavy side. Same picture on CAC 40, also, dancing a little on the spot here, below the 100 and the 55 moving average, below the cloud, and I think we will see a move down to around the 200 moving average again, below 7,200, but the key support is 7,083. That should be observed. On the FX markets, euro dollar seems to have found some support here at 106.85 support in the middle of this range, trading on this consolidation area over here. The RSI is still bearish, so the trend is down. We could see a short-term bounce up to 108, possibly up to around the 200 moving average, but we are still trading in this falling channel like here, and the weekly is also quite interesting. 106.35 is the key support here, and it will be a quite strong support, as you can see. 55 weekly moving average coming up, kind of giving some support there, but we have the 100 moving down, so the underlying medium-term trend is bearish. We have the 40 threshold still holding on for the weekly RSI, so still a little bit of comfort for the euro dollar bulls. Cable sterling dollar dancing around just above the 200 moving average, and I think it will remain so for the next couple of days. If it starts trading below, well, I could see a sell-off down to 123, where there's some strong support, and then we should see a bit of correction up a little bit higher to test this upper falling trend line. The dollar yen also hovering around 146, 147, up to around 148. And let's zoom in a little bit. We can see there is still upside potential, but we have the RSI showing divergence, as illustrated with this falling trend line here. So there is some divergence or imbalance in the market, not really supporting this uptrend, but for now the trend is your friend, so keep an eye on that. If it starts moving higher and taking out last week's peaks, well, then we are looking at 149, 150, and as we can see here on the weekly chart, we are still in a nice uptrend. On the euro yen, see if we can make it to switch. There we are, still 156.85 and 159.75 range, so not really much going on there. Aussie yen also in a tighter and tighter range. It got a breakout. I mean, we rarely see something moving in this triangle-like pattern, getting that close to an apex where the two lines meet. So I think we'll see a breakout here fairly. So we try to do to the upside to this morning, but it first step is 95 and then 95.85. That really strong resistance that should be broken for upside potential. Downwards we have 92.80 and just below 92 and 91.80 also here, and we have the 200 moving average. So it seems like it's being range. It could be range bound. It's bigger range, but we need a breakout for these levels there. The dollar index also pausing a little bit to the weaker side. It is in an uptrend, but as we can see here, there is some divergence on the RSI, so we should see a correction. We see this trend line here is slightly falling, indicating that we are in an exhaustive area, but there is still room up to 105.80, which is a very strong resistance for the dollar index, and also on the weekly chart, same strong resistance and a cloud there. So it's like it is exhaustive, in exhaustive mode at the moment, the dollar index. So we should see a correction. On the commodities front, gold, let's zoom a little bit. Gold there, very tight range here between 1950 and 1900. I think we could see a test of this 1903 support. The RSI is not really giving away anything, because I think we actually did have a close. Yeah, we did have a closer, but it's a close call. It's only with a fraction, so maybe it's just those that we can't really rely on. So I think still we will see gold being range bound between 1900 and 1950 here for the foreseeable future, next week or so, possibly another 2 weeks. Silver finding support at the 786 retracement here at around 22.80, and I think we will see a bounce higher towards the 23.50, but we have the strong resistance at the 100 moving average coming. We have the 55 and we have the 200, and we can see the RSI is negative here. So it weighs quite heavily on the sentiment there. Copper bouncing back up to around the 382 pivot, as I would call it, because it fluctuates between 370, 390, 370, and so on. And I think it will remain so for the next couple of weeks. What is interesting, what has been happening in the energy market, is the uptrend in oil. Here we have the Brent oil moving higher, reaching 161.8 projection, actually even 1764 projection at 92.80. Looking at the weekly chart, we can see there is an uptrend confirmed on the weekly RSI. Also, the daily RSI has cancelled its divergence, indicating we could move higher. No strong resistance until around 98.56, the level here. These peaks here, they are quite strong. So I think we will see a move towards that in coming weeks. More or less the same picture, or actually the same picture on WTI. Reaching 161.8 projection of this latest correction. Also cancelling its divergence on the RSI. There's no divergence on the RSI, which is bully on the weekly. There is room up to around the 93.75 strong resistance level here. There will be a written technical update on oil here later today around lunchtime. So look out for that one, where I will mention some of these levels and dig a little bit deeper. Finally, on US Treasury yields, the 10-year, the 428 resistance, it actually closed above Monday, but it hovering around here, so it seems a little bit indecisive, but we are in an uptrend with potential to 448 on the US 10-year yields. All right, that's all for this Wednesday. Talk to you again tomorrow. Happy trading.